Welcome, everybody. Thank you for having me here. Yeah, I mean, I've been 20 years in IndyCar, but I've been driving different types of vehicles for 30 years. So next year will be my 30th year in motorsports. But yeah, open wheel racing and professionally, 20 years. So my grandfather was very diverse, and he drove all different types of race cars, and I think that really, really helped him shine and adapt. I think the word is adapt to different types of cars. And so, yeah, I mean, just having experience in a bunch of different categories really helps me for IndyCar for sure.
So, just as a refresher, I know you have a lot of things on your schedule throughout the year that you have to do appearances, you got activities, you got family. Just as a reminder, so we have here in the audience 19 countries.
Amazing.
Crazy, like 19 countries from all over the world who are looking for buying U.S. Soybean oil, different capacities, as well as we've spoken a lot about high oleic soybean cooking oil. And so different partnerships along the way, as you know, we have with Gainbridge, Lucas Oil, Victory Field, and with Andretti using the high oleic soybean cooking oil in their hospitality tent. The Andretti team also uses renewable fuels in their vehicles. They're supportive of ethanol in the state. Just as a reminder, we do over 1.4 billion gallons of ethanol in 15 plants in Indiana. But we also have a biodiesel plant that does 105 million gallons a year in our backyard here in Claypool, Indiana. So biodiesel is used in some of their medium and heavy-duty vehicles, as well as renewable diesel in the transporters that take Marco Andretti and his Andretti team cars all over to the different races. So, as we are here with this audience, how would you, I would say, describe from your point of view as a driver, is there something in particular that you enjoy from all the transitions? And I'll get into the transitions. So when I watched you qualifications, wow, a lot happening in qualifications.
Yeah.
And like I said, we can talk more on that too with some different positions. But the weather was really cool. It was raining. I know I talked to you the other day and you were like, past Friday, it was a bust. Like, the car was lifting, you just couldn't get the speed that you wanted. You're dealing with lots of components. If you guys, my race guy fans here, on those steering wheels, there are a lot of buttons. They've got weight jacker shifts, split second decisions going over 230 miles per hour. You are truly at full throttle in that car. What's going through your mind? And talk a little bit about how you thought you did in qualifications and how you finishing for tomorrow's position.
Well, what's going through my mind at 240 is I hope the car sticks to the track when I turn in. Yeah, I mean, I think us as a team, I think we did a good job just maximizing kind of the speed that we're dealt this month. Rolling off with speed is it's very, very much a lottery to just know whether your car's going to be fast or not. I mean, it's a combination of engine and just drag on the actual chassis. So I drew the short straw. The car was not fast this year, but it's very, very comfortable in traffic, which we could still win the race with that. However, qualifying, it's hard to get speed out of it. And over the 2 days in the wind, I did like 7 different runs and all different downforces. Made it very hard to drive for me to extract every bit of speed out of it to get in the show, and we were able to do that. But all 7 runs, all different downforce levels, and all the same lap time. So everything we did to the car, it just went as fast as it can go. But I think we maximized it, and we got it in the show, because as long as we're there, we can win.
Exactly. Well, maybe talk a little about the hybrid feature.
Yeah, the hybrid is new this year. So the biggest difference for me is the weight of the actual car is over 100 pounds heavier this year. So, it's very hard on the Firestone tires. Luckily, it's cooler temps tomorrow, which the tires like. So handling-wise, it puts a premium on getting a good, comfortable race car for 500 miles, which I think we have. Basically, I'm hoping guys don't just use it after they make a mistake. Like, instead of push to pass, it'll be a push to defend, type of thing. So I hope it doesn't mess the racing up. But I think it'll. Indy's always a show, no matter what, and there's always going to be surprises coming our way. We just have to adapt and hopefully adapt better than the others.
Yeah. Well, and I have to think, I mean, as a parent myself of a 14-year-old daughter, a 12-year-old son, yes, I have children, and they're a huge priority. You do your daily job just as a parent at work in general, and travel, and all the things. You guys are here, and I'm sure your kids are at home and miss you and want to be with you. How are you adjusting and adapting? You have your beautiful fiance, your new baby girl, Mira. She's adorable.
Thank you.
I could feel like I could answer this in a way, but how has that, do you think that's impacted a little bit of your speed, or how are you adjusting now just being a new dad this year?
Yeah, I mean, no, it doesn't affect my speed. I think when the visor goes down, I'm a pretty good compartmentalizer. I think as drivers doing what we do tomorrow, you have to be. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm the luckiest guy in the world because it's like this is the first year where I'm not really running anything else full time, so I'm able to really be with her and see her grow. You know, and so yeah, there's a very busy 2 weeks for me here, but then it's pretty awesome to be able to spend time with her.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I have to get a plug in the family. That's number one for me. So, okay, let's get into a little drama. How does that sound? A little drama. Okay. Now, we had some issues with teams, and I'm really taking the positive spin from this because this has nothing to do with the Andretti team, but for those of you that were following in qualifications, and then on the Sunday qualification, Team Penske had a little issue with a technical violation with their attenuator. Learn that. All about that. Okay, they didn't pass the inspection. They got moved to the last row. So as a reminder to the audience, so 33 drivers compete. That's why Marco was talking. There was a guy who got bumped. There was a gentleman, a rookie, who he's not running. You can imagine the emotional, the drive to want to be in this race so bad. And so going from a high position in qualifications, having a technical issue happen to your car, and as a driver, that's not it's not really, I guess, your fault because you're the driver, you're the talent. You have a trusting relationship in your engineering team to make sure that that car is safe, that it's going to pass its inspections. And so you kind of, we looked at the Team Penske issue. Now they're two-time Indy 500 champion Joseph Newgarden and Will Powers are now in the last of the line of the row 11. That moved Marco to the row 10, correct?
Yeah.
Which is fine. And so tell me, how do you ever think about that? Do you do a inspection around your car? You've grown up in this industry your whole life. What were your thoughts on, I guess, what happened? How could you maybe say maybe a driver could have noticed something that happened like that? Like, how do you even think that the confidence of you finishing in one position and now you're in a different position? That's got to be very frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I can't comment whether the driver knew or not, but it's a bummer that there's a little bit of a blemish on Joseph. I know how hard he works as a driver and stuff like that, and Will. But yeah, I mean, you know, penalty fit the crime, and they're starting last, and you know, I think yeah, I mean, it's definitely a bummer when something like that happens. I'm sure most teams are pushing the envelope. But when it's pretty obvious, then that's a little different.
Right, and I guess I tie it into when it's the owner of the series, the owner of the team. In your mind, I guess what your guys are similar to that. I mean, so who's the ultimate decision maker when it comes to? And I'm asking this because Renus VK threw his timeout of qualifications in the last minute, right?
Yeah.
Would that be something you did? Is that the driver's decision at that time, or is that the owner, is that the team? Walk us through what that is.
I mean, that one was a confusing one for me. I don't know if the team owner did it because the other sponsor was paying more money. I don't know. But I know if I was VK, I'm not sure I would have did that because you're already in the show. So if you pull your time, anything can happen. The engine can blow, and then you're out of the race. So I wouldn't have agreed to do that. You know, whether my boss has told me to or not, you're the one driving the car. And, you know, yeah, I mean, who makes the ultimate decision? The one who puts the throttle down. But you know, I don't know. It's yeah, it's a team sport for sure. Yeah. So you win and lose as a team.
What do you want to continue, and perhaps, you know, other outside adventures that you look to in the future for you and for your family?
Yeah, like I said, I'm super blessed with just the timing of everything because I've been in motorsports for 30 years and you know, it's been a heck of a ride, a heck of a commitment. But yeah, I mean, I think I am, a year or two away from leaning on a lot of my investments. I have 100 apartment units across 11 buildings, locally in Pennsylvania where I live, and I'll be micromanaging that a little harder than I have been, because now I'm going to be relying on that income without racing, and then have an airplane charter business as well. But I am going to have luxury of time to find a new niche and something that, I'm not wired to sit still for too long. So I'll find something once we stop driving, for sure.
Okay, so before I kind of get a couple audience questions, so be thinking of something. So we chat throughout the year. No, I'm not best friends with Marco and his whole family, but we do keep up online and photos and kids and just like in general. He's you're a Pacer fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gotta switch gears. We take him out of the track. We talk about racing. I like to put him in different environments. So we just won last night. We were at a little event last night, and I saw this happen live, and we were so excited. What are your thoughts on how you think the Pacers are doing? I mean, Tyrese Halliburton, new player. We've got Caitlin Clark, obviously with the fever, but both from Iowa. I have to say that we have some Iowans in the audience. So let's see, Game 3, 8 p.m. Sunday night, tomorrow night, right here at Gamebridge in Indianapolis. What are your predictions? What are your thoughts in general on the Pacers? Do you have enough energy? Maybe if you might get to go to the game. So tell us a little bit about another sport that you are living in every single day.
Yeah, I mean, all I can tell you is Indianapolis has it going on tomorrow between the Indy 500 and the game. It's going to be crazy. So, but yeah, I mean, I follow NFL and the NBA. And yeah, the Pacers, ever since I signed my rookie contract in 2006, I've been going to games here. So it's been fun watching them play, and they've been kind of the underdog because nobody gives them enough credit for how good they've played this year. So I think they're a very, very well-rounded team, probably more well-rounded than OKC. If they could shut down Shea, they can be champions this year, is my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Marco is right. With Indianapolis, we got IMS in our backyard, racing capital of the world. Andretti is in our backyard. Gosh, Fever, Pacers, and you guys have seen a lot of these sports venues that we've all partnerships with. We find a lot of value in our sports here in Indianapolis. I help talk to other states that want to duplicate what we've been doing in Indianapolis, also in the IndyCar space. But before I let Marco go, does anybody have some questions that the audience? So Leo, you want to shout loud? Or you want the microphone here? Come over here.
What's your best and worst memory of an Indy race?
It's in the same race, and it's my rookie year. I almost won the race. I was leading the last few laps, and Sam Hornish had just ridiculous speed on me, like almost like he had pushed a pass or something. But he was flying like 7 miles an hour faster. I was flat out, and I actually, one of the best moments was passing my dad for the lead at Indy with 3 laps to go, and then 3 laps later getting passed at the line and losing the race, finishing second, and my dad finishing third. That was the best and worst. Obviously I've had crashes, that I've been very fortunate enough to be unscathed and all that. Crashes are always the worst. Second place is not that bad, but I got criticized as a rookie because I was extremely mad after a very good result. But I know what Indianapolis means, and I know how hard it is to win because of both of my grandfather and father's careers and all the near misses that they've had, and even my own now, probably 4 wins that have slipped away from me. I knew that it was so hard to win, so I was actually angry with second place. Yeah, because any other racetrack, second place is great, but here there's one winner, and I was angry, and I knew that I'd be sitting here potentially talking to you guys 20 years later, and I haven't won the race. I have 20% podium finishes, top 3 finishes, but never won the race. So that's why I'm still trying.
Yeah.
Maybe this year.
Yeah, I think 20 years, we're all going to be cheering for Marco.